Hello and welcome to the Primetimers. I'm your host, Marty Moore. We have an exciting program for you today. We're at the American Legion Hall, Post 32, and joining me here at the table and at the bar is the American Legion Commander, Jim Pardo. Welcome
Good
to
morning.
the Primetimers.
Thank you.
Like I was just telling Jim, he's going to tell me everything I don't know about the American Legion, and hopefully you'll get some information too. So tell us about a little bit of history about the American Legion, Jim.
Well, the American Legion was chartered by the United States Congress in September of 1919. And our post here received their charter in October of 1930. And our post is named after a man, a Marine, named Myron H. Beals, who was killed in the First World War, and he lived in Plymouth. And post has been going ever since then.
I mean, you started out in this little building, we'll probably get a picture of that later on, to this big, huge place. Tell us about, I'm sure you have a lot of programs that the American Legion is involved in.
Well, first of all, the American Legion was founded on 4 pillars. One is Americanism. Number 2, national security. 3, children and youth. And 4, veterans affairs and rehabilitation. And each one of those pillars has programs that are associated with it. There's a lot of many programs I can talk about, a few of them. We also have scholarships for boys and girls in the high school. We have boys state, girls state, a trooper program. They also have American Legion baseball. There's just so many of them that it's kind of without having a program in front of me.
As your kids get older, you want that information regarding any help you can get and get them through school.
Right.
I had no idea that you even did that.
Right.
What are the membership requirements?
Membership requirements for men, for the Legionnaires, there's a list of years there that they had to have been in the military. And all you have to do is serve 1 day. And that's about it, basically.
Mm-hmm. So you have, can anybody be a member? I mean, even if they weren't in the military?
Their family members can be under. We have 2 different programs. One is the Sons of the American Legion.
Right.
And it has to either your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather has to be in there. It can't be a brother or sister. Mm-hmm. Or your mother, now when I think about it, because we have a lot of women veterans. And then we have the Women's Auxiliary. And they also help us on many different programs. Sometimes they're the backbone of our thing because the women get out there and do an awful lot.
Well, they come up with some good ideas too.
A lot of good ideas.
So you really don't have to be a member of the military, but a son or daughter.
Well, we also have daughters, right? We also have the girls, and the Women's Auxiliary, actually, they're part of that.
Well, I notice there's a lot of activity. When you drive past the post, there's that little sign out there, and it just has, so many things going on. Stop for a fish fry, or stop and get involved with the ladies, because they do have their own group here also.
Right.
We talked a little bit about the White House I saw in that picture over there. When was Post 32 really established?
Well, in 1930.
30.
I wasn't here, but that was the first building I know that they used, was an old house here, but it had a large upstairs. It was in a barn shape.
A lot of history here.
Yeah, this building here, I believe, was completed in 1987. And it's about the time I joined here.
Yeah. Cute, short story about the American Legion. And people join the American Legion and they get this magazine. My husband was looking through this magazine, Jim, and it said a reunion, back 2 pages, a ship's reunion. That was back in the 90s. We have attended every one for the SS Fulton, and met some wonderful Navy people. So, I mean, this is a national thing.
Right. We're the largest military organization,
Yeah.
military veteran organization in the United States.
Well, we have that to thank you for. We've met some not only fine service people, but also some fine musicians, too.
Exactly.
Jim, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to the Prime Timers. I'd like to introduce you to Commander David Stratman, who is the SAL commander, which is Sons of the American Legion.
That's
Welcome.
correct. I'm Marty.
Welcome.
Good
5
morning.
years you've been doing this thing, so I'm sure you
Yes,
can give
ma'am.
me some good information there, Dave.
Well, the SAL was established back in September 12th to the 15th at the 14th National Convention in Portland, Oregon. And then they, at that time, in 1932 to 1942, there was about 170,000 strong SAL. Well, when the war broke out in 1942, a lot of those guys were drafted and to fight for the in World War II, excepting about 5,000 of them, which they couldn't make it because of their hearing or eyes or stuff like that. There was something wrong that they couldn't make it. So after the war and everything, now as of 2015, we have approximately 350 to 370,000 strong SAL throughout the United States.
And these are all sons and
Yeah.
daughters of.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. We also have dads and grandpas and
Yes, your grandfather, your mom or dad had served in the service, and your grandparents, your grandmother or grandfather.
Yeah.
Like myself, I got into the post through my grandfather. He served in World War I as a Marine over in Paris, France. So that's how I got in. And then the other SAL guys, they also got in through their dads, so the Korean War or Vietnam.
And they also do some very good work for the American Legion. You were showing me a board where you had your buglers and the color guard.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were, at one time, I asked if the Sons of the American Legion be part of that, being part of the Honor Guard at the time. Well, we have, they said yes, and right now we have 7 SAL members that are part of the Honor Guard, and we're very, very proud of it. It's something that we couldn't do in the service, but this is something to say thank you to our servicemen
I think
who have
it's
passed on.
wonderful.
Yes,
That's a
it's great.
wonderful
It's a
idea.
great feeling.
And it's so meaningful
Yes.
to the families and to the veterans themselves.
Oh yeah, when after we do a service at a funeral home or a cemetery or a church, they're just honored. They come up and shake our hands and thank you for your service. And which again, we didn't serve, but this is some way we can serve
Well, I
the
think it's
family.
a continuum.
Yes.
It just continues to grow and probably pass it along to your families and sons and daughters. David, I want to thank you for taking time out and being with the Prime Timers. Commander Dave Stratman here at Post 32. And we'll be back with information on the Veteran of the Month. Welcome back to the Primetimers. I'm your host, Marty Moore, and we're visiting at Post 32. With me right now are two members of the SAL, which is the Sons of the American Legion, and Charlie Wagner, chaplain, is here, and also a member of the award committee. Larry Snowden is with us. So, we got a lot of information. Go to it. How are we doing this? How did this come about?
Well, you know, number one, Marty, thanks so much for being here. This really means a lot to our Post, and Channel 8 coming out here it's just a great tribute to these veterans.
Thanks for the plug.
And, you know, the Veteran of the Month award, we are Sons of the American Legion. And we have a meeting once a month, and we get together, and as one of the things that just kept haunting me was, you know, here's all these guys here. Here's all these guys that have these stories, and and yet we don't know any of them, and we don't know the stories. We know the guys, but we don't know the stories. And as Sons of the American Legion, we haven't gone through any of these things that these guys have.
Yeah.
And a great way for us to bond with them is to get their story, learn something about them. So the idea of the Veteran of the Month came to us, and we decided, hey, every month let's put together a veteran. Let's go through a nomination process. Let's then ask him a story. And usually about, and we said they don't want to talk for a long time, so we want to keep it to about 5 to 7 minutes.
Sure.
Of course, they always go over. but for the most part, they're very humble, and they like I really shouldn't be the veteran. I shouldn't. But once you get them there and they talk, it's just wonderful.
Well, I think someone should notice. You know, I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of veterans that are due for some respect and a thank you, and I think this is a fine way to do it.
And that's what we're trying to do is once we get them up there, and the presentation's pretty elaborate that we go through, and we started this back in June, and we've had one every single month, and we've had it in front of big crowds. We have our car show here every Thursday during the year. And so what we do is we have them come up, and all the car show people come in, so they have a big audience, and we do the presentation. Mm-hmm. And the thing that's so neat about this is that when I see some of these guys, the World War II gentleman you're going to see later on, mm-hmm. when I see him now, I see him as he followed the group as they went through Germany in World War II. He was behind Patton, and yes, he was a cook. Okay, mm-hmm. but he was following behind them the whole way. Mm-hmm. I look over at another guy, I go, he's the guy that packed parachutes, that actually had a gentleman come back to him and say, thank you, my chute worked, okay?
He was able to answer.
I look over at another guy, he repaired jet fighters in the early Vietnam War, and he was over in Southeast Asia at that time. And we see these guys in a different light now. And I think it's just a great way to honor them, and we're just and I tell you, Larry Snowden, who does all the background and does all the filming for us, and Scott Wilson, who presents the plaques from Livonia Trophy. These are great guys, and have all just grabbed this whole idea and run with it. And we're so blessed to have all these wonderful veterans here.
These plaques are absolutely beautiful.
Well, let me show you this plaque, and we'll try not to get any glare on it. This is the gentleman that we have for this month, Doug Williams, and Doug will be talking with you later on, and he's a great guy. Doug's just turned 94, so my goodness, we're glad to have him in as a Veteran of the Month. And then, you know, after we do the presentation, and we meet the first Tuesday of every month, and that's at 7:30. If you'd like to come here and be part of it, we'd love to have you here. And that's for the Sons of the American Legion. And then Larry takes over here, and Larry, why don't you show just quickly what we do with the newspaper articles and so forth to further this idea.
Sure. Well, after we've contacted or selected our Veteran of the Month.
How did you select them?
Well, okay,
ahead.
we select them basically, we get nomination forms.
Yeah.
There's nomination forms like this that are available at the Post. Anybody can nominate a veteran. We receive some minor background or small background information like what theater and what years he served in, et cetera, and what branch. We take those forms, we have a committee meeting, we get together and we look at the nominations we have. We try and concentrate on World War II veterans to get them first, but this is open to all major conflicts the U.S. has been involved in. And then we select one. I give them a call, a cursory call, to make sure, first of all, the guy can accept.
Yeah.
Some of the veterans just, they're a little bit shy and don't want to get involved. But we give them the option. They can either come down here at the meeting and we'll give them a podium, and like Charlie said, we'll give them some time to tell their story. Or if they can't come down here, or don't want to come down here, we go to their home. We'll go to their home. Me and Charlie will go, and we'll interview them at the home. We video them at the home, and then we make a DVD, and we'll show the DVD at the meeting. So it works out very well that way. We get more people that way. We also then, we write newspaper articles. Here's kind of this is our book. We put together a book of all the past recipients that we've had, and the pictures that we've taken, the newspaper articles. So we keep that for records here for history.
I'll bet their families love this.
The videos, the last guy, for Doug here, I think I had to make 4 copies of the DVD.
Oh my gosh. So
But,
they've got a newspaper article.
They get a newspaper article,
They
yes.
also have a beautiful plaque. And so it's done in-house as far as nominating is concerned, right?
Correct. Well, we can, people can nominate, anybody can nominate. We are, again, looking for people from the post here.
Certain requirements.
We had 124 World War II veterans still on our roster, and we've sent out letters to all those veterans asking them if they'd be willing to participate, and we're kind of waiting for some of those responses to come back. We've had a couple, but we would like to have more.
Yeah.
We'd like to have more.
Why do you feel it's important to have an award for the local veteran each month?
Well, again, it comes down to we really want to recognize these guys. We know they have a story to tell, and sometimes, Marty, it's too late. We just lost a veteran the other day that we wish we could have gotten his story. Yeah. And we'd like this to go even further down the road. We'd like to be able to get everybody's story in this post and put it together and a little background and maybe have a party at the end of the year and put it all together. But that's a bigger idea that we're hoping that we can come up with.
Well, it's something to shoot for.
Right, right.
Because it seems like someone has to get the ball rolling and get it started. And most average person wouldn't even think, well, videos, CDs, television, newspaper. But then if other people know about the idea, these wheels start turning and the right information gets to the right person. I don't know why you couldn't have that for a goal, a big party and all the vets honored, and a book at least. I'm sure you have some writers here.
We sure do. Larry's just does a great job with getting the newspaper articles out there. And we've actually, he's going after the Michigan American Legion magazine. We're trying to get in there with some of these stories. We're really excited with the way this has taken off. Once again, the appreciation that you guys have come out here and heard our story. This started with us initially going over to put maybe a nomination form over on Channel 8 or Channel 3 over at the Bright House, so that we could tell people, please send in your nominations or come on over and join the American Legion.
Right.
We have a really good time over here. This is a good bunch.
Oh, you guys do. You have a great bunch of people here. And I really wish people would come out for the fish fries, come out for the hot car.
The car show on
shows.
Thursdays, yeah, that's great.
Come and be part of it. And it's local and it's fun, it's casual. You can be yourself, be that veteran that you are.
Yeah, and we really look up to our veterans here, Marty, and once again, it's just great that you guys came out. We really appreciate it.
Well, it's a good opportunity to thank each and every one of you.
Thank you.
With us, Charlie Wagner, who is the chaplain for the Sons of the American Legion, and Larry Snowden, who is a member of the committee to select these wonderful vets and get these things together. Both of you gentlemen have been very informative, and come on out and meet them. They're really nice guys. We'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Primetimers would like to introduce Doug Williams. Doug is the Veteran of the Month, has received the award from the American Legion Post 32 for March of 2015. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I am
Very-
honored.
Well, I'll tell you, we're honored to have you with us. Doug just celebrated a birthday, and recently,
94.
94, very young 94, I might add, too. You have received this award. Tell us what it was like.
Well, first of all, it was a shock to me, and I feel very honored because when I joined, I have to be honest about it, I joined because of karaoke. And,
Music will do that.
and since I have joined, I have made so many friends here, and I've been treated so nicely that I have really come to love the American Legion, and I feel a part of it anymore.
Just like your family.
My family, they agree with me 100%. Yeah, I have a big family, and they all have I had 8 children and 5 girls and three boys. And they all live in Michigan. How lucky can I be? You know,
Wow.
I live at Fox Run, and I talk to people there who have 2 children. One's at one end of the United States, one's at the other end.
That's usually why they're at
I'm,
Fox
I'm,
Run.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
You are, truly.
am.
Tell us about your service time, like when and where. And
I went in December 1942. I was in till 1946. I first was assigned after basic training, which was only 30-day basic training. I was in what they called at that time limited service. Limited service because I don't see out of my right eye. I can walk, but I can't read anything. So I was in limited service, which originally meant that your services were limited to the continental limits of the United States.
I see.
But as things progressed over there and they needed more men over there, we ended up going over there. So that's my story about that.
Where were you stationed?
I was stationed, first of all, at the Rock Island Arsenal in Illinois,
I know Rock Island.
and I was a baker, believe it or not. Not by my choice, but by their choice. I was a baker. And I was there for a little over a year. I was fortunate enough that my wife was able to live with me because I had a Class A pass as a baker. When I got through with my baking, I could go home. So I was very fortunate there.
Yes, you were.
I've been fortunate throughout my service.
What do you enjoy most about the American Legion?
Well, like I say, I mean, truthfully, I joined for karaoke, but I've been acquainted with so many people that I love it. I love it, and I feel like I'm really a part of it. And I enjoy my karaoke as well, but I never forget the fact that I am a member of the American Legion.
Well, you've been able to share a lot of stories with a lot of guys over the years.
I have.
And meet their families. It just makes things stretch out a little farther, you know. Oh, I know that daughter, and I know that daughter of that daughter, and it just kind of a family just waiting to happen, creating itself with the veterans.
Yes, yeah. I'm very happy to hear. As I say, I really joined because of karaoke, but I used to do karaoke in Howell, Michigan, And I
Good old
left,
Howell, love Livingston County.
I left there for a particular reason, and I found this place, and I will never go back to Howell again. This is where I'll do my karaoke. Niner and Rhonda are just absolutely fantastic. I love them both.
And these are gals that help you out with their karaoke.
Yeah.
And you know, people need music and they need to be happy about things. Good grief, things are sad enough. I'm just very happy. I'm very proud to have met you as the award-winning.
And I am proud to
March
be here.
for 2015.
I
That's pretty good, Doug
Yeah,
Williams.
I'm
I'm
proud to
really
be here.
happy to meet you. I also would like to thank the other gentlemen from the American Legion Post 32. I'm Marty Moore, and we'll see you next time on the Primetimers.